We're here with Michael Bascombe, the organizer of the Grenada Invitational. Michael, second staging, give us your impression of the outcome of the second staging.
Well, I'm very happy that despite the many challenges for the Grenada Invitational, you would have seen the outpouring of support, not just by the locals, but also by the athletes and the caliber of athletes who attended and participated. Last year we had a number of scratches and injuries, but this time around we have seen most of the athletes, almost 90% or 95% of the athletes who actually came participated, probably 100%. We'd have seen Braylon Taplin competing for the very first time in Grenada, which is also a first, for the Grenada Invitational. Last year we had Kirani James, this year is Braylon Taplin, and this year we also had the world champion in Justin Gatlin, and we had Tori Bory, and so many of world-class athletes. I thought overall the Grenada Invitational was a major success, and again I'm saying despite some of the challenges we'd have had in terms of some of the local activities like the general elections in Grenada that would have put a stall on some of the preparations, but despite that we were able to pull off another successful meet.
How happy are you along with the organizing committee that you were able to pull off another successful meet?
Yes, well, and this time around, as you see, 100% homegrown. Most of the members of the local organizing committee have never really experienced an international meet except the inaugural meet last year, and this would have been probably their second time being at an international meet, probably just seeing it on television. So I'm very happy that the local, and I said local and I'm stressing on local, members of the organizing committee have been able to gel, and they have been able to pull this together.
What are the positives you would take from this one going into the third one on May? Is it April 13? Sorry, April 13, 2019.
Well, the enthusiasm of the athletes. I arrived on Saturday, the day of the meet itself, and I was able to meet with some of the athletes, some of the agents and coaches, and already you're getting, even before the meet itself, you're getting the enthusiasm from them. They like what they have been experiencing since they arrived. The reception they have had. In some cases they don't really have that. They go into a meet and they hustle into a hotel and and compete and leave. This time around we had a reception, VIP treatment, all these sort of things, and even the reception they got from the spectators as well. Yes, there may be some tweaking we may need to do for 2019, but overall I think the whole vibes and enthusiasm of the athletes, I think that was very encouraging. The support of the locals also encouraging, and very important, the hundreds of volunteers we have had for our second year. I think that too sends a strong message that Grenada is in a position to host these sort of international meets, and you would have seen it for yourself.
I know it may be early because you wouldn't have gotten the chance yet to meet with your organizing committee, but from where you stand, are there any one particular thing you may think that you would want to do differently or that you'd want to add come next year?
Well, yes, I think, and I can say that now, I think some of the events, we may have to look at some of the events we may want to include or not include, and working a little more with the agents and the coaches. I've had some preliminary meetings with them already, even prior to this evening's meet. And that is one of the things we have identified in terms of a closer collaboration with some of the agents. I'm based in the United States, in New York in particular, and I've been able to meet with some of them, over the past few months. And I think I will continue that sort of, discussions with them in terms of how we can, make the Grenada Invitational a little more excited, a little more encouraging, especially for the athletes, and working with them to ensure that the Grenada Invitational is sustainable.
Thank you.
Okay.